I've seen girls on the internet making videos saying, oh, guys, like before I go on a date with a guy, I make sure that I ask him who he voted for. I just want to make sure I'm safe. And like, I want to be on a date with a guy that like hates me and like doesn't think I'm a human being. But then also, if you scroll down that same creator's videos, she talks about how she wants this protector, provider, God-fearing man. She wants two different type of men collabing. Feministic equality, but completely provider, 100% protector, masculine guy. Those don't go hand in hand. Possible to get it, sure, but it's just not common. It's not possible. Yeah. Okay? Get out of your delusional la-la land.
I have this eternal struggle where it's like, I want my husband to be the provider, make all the money, pay all the bills, do the adulting things, fix everything around the house, take care of my car, take the trash out, make all the plans, handle our finances. So basically do everything while I just lie around and like only do things when I feel like doing them. But like, I'm not talking about traditional gender roles because I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not doing his laundry. I also don't like to be told what to do. I can make my own decisions and I like making my own money. Can somebody help?
This motherfucker.
So you are possibly a concubine woman. The funny thing is, a lot of this stuff is broken down in scripture, and this is why it says that salvation is open and available to many, but many will not receive it because most people are freaking evil, mostly women. And this is why I'll say this, right? So she's in a position where she pretty much just wants to be a bed wench. Let's be real. So there are people that are out here that are designed that they just like giving pleasure. That's all they want to do, right? Or service. I'll say service. They have a strong, they have a strong sense of service. Now, this woman is also not a good example because she's still a modern woman because she just says she doesn't want to do anything. But this is exactly why what I'm about to state is why I say a lot of men and women are lost. Because the men were talking about, oh, that's not possible. Oh, that's hard. No, that's just because you guys don't want to provide that, right? Now, when the woman was going with the back and forth about like, oh, I want all this stuff done and I want him to provide and all this other stuff, and people are like, oh, how's he supposed to do that in 24 hours? My thing is, I nodded my head and I said, you know what? Everybody could be happy if the women would just shut the hell up. And you wonder what I mean? So I mean that because, right? So polygyny, right? Where the one man is the head of the household. He has maybe however many wives he wants or whatever like that. So for instance, a woman that, like the one that was talking about, she just kind of didn't want to do much, but she just wanted to kind of be like still in a relationship. Yeah, those were concubines, lesser wives, right? So those are the ones that took up the mantle for when your main wife, your first wife or whatever, was too lazy to do her sexual stuff with her husband, for starters, because that's always the main excuse for women, and they always want to make that the only subject of polygyny. So I will put that out there. Yeah, so when you are too lazy to do your duties, so that you don't sit there and try to micromanage your man, which is against scripture, so that you don't try to micromanage your man, right? So that's why you have sister wives, right? So that way it's still a thing where it's one woman sleeping with one man, right? One woman, meaning the wife, that wife, sleeping with her husband. That's how each part of this branch is connected to the one tree, right? That bears the fruit, the seed, the kids, right? But y'all don't want that, right? Because this one over here, she pretty much said, hey, I'll do. You could just tell she's there for the pillow, the bed, right? She says she'll do the bed stuff, right? And then your other basic modern women, she just says, I'm not going to submit, do nothing, and I'll be selective on whenever I want to do anything that's my wifely duties. So when it comes to things like that, that's why the balance came in polygyny, because you have women that have their mood swings, have what they want to do, what they not gonna do, what they favor, what they don't favor, etc., etc. Now, the quality of women are there's really hard to find quality women. So that's why it might take 10 women to do something that maybe a woman, maybe in biblical times, maybe 2 of them could have handled. So that's why that is like that, because you got your emotions, your fifis, your your time of the month, time of the year, time of the week, whatever it is, your pissy moods, your what's it called? Menopause, your arthritis, all those excuses you ladies have, right? So now you have 10 women, and it's really, really hard to not be able to function as a household, meaning the husband still get fed and taken care of, with all the wifely duties, right? And the house is still running because somebody's gonna be lazy, somebody's gonna freak out, somebody's gonna I'm having a crisis or whatever like that. They want to do all that crap while the man wants to provide. So that's why I said, if you do the traditional marriage, it works because you all shut up, you all stop bickering, you all save yourselves from yourselves, because you all always pick the wrong men, and that's why you all should be attached to a man that actually has some damn sense, and he knows what to do with you. So instead of you going with the guy that all he does is smoke, drink, and abuse you, or whatever you women are into or whatever, right? Instead of going to that man and saying, oh, well, every man shouldn't get... So we're not talking about that. We're talking about the man that has a business, the man that has maybe a wife, maybe a man that wants multiple wives at one time, that wants a bigger family, that has responsibilities. He needs more help. He needs more hands around the house. There's women out here with husbands, and they're telling them that they have a problem because they want to have sex with their wife, and their wife wasn't having sex with them, and their man is a healthy, attractive male. But, there's excuses for that. So that's why it was really easy in a household when people that didn't know what the hell they wanted, people that didn't want to keep up with their bargain, they could just shut the hell up, and everything could still run, and everything could still be taken care of.
Don't miss.
No, he's fucking good.
That motherfucker don't miss, man.
He's good.
Yeah. You can't make this shit up, people. You cannot make this shit up.
Have you ever made a woman pay for herself on a date? You seem like the type that would do 50-50.
Interesting.
Yes or no?
No. I feel I'm the provider of the family.
You're the provider,
Yeah, I feel
so
like
you have
that's-
money.
Is that what you're here for?
No, I'm here for love, but I can never love a broke man. So everybody put your head down if you don't have money.
I practice hypergamy.
If more than half the guys raise their hands, the men may vote to replace the girl. I'll leave it on you.
And that's what happens when you get rejected.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
And this is what I will say. Men, I don't know if you've seen that. That's why I said we have to make it a movement. If you're not poly, you're not getting picked. Because none of these women, all of these women want a handout, bro. And all of these women will sit here and get married, and then as soon as they get married, sit there and waste and do not do their freaking duties, right? So let's all agree to tell every single last one of them. So since you want to be princess, queen, or whatever, right? You don't want to do your duties, but you want me to do all my stuff. I'm going to let you know how it's going to go down. Because, we did your way, which was unbiblical. And now we're going to do it this biblical way. And if you don't want to do that, you can either get to stepping or you can get in line. That's what we need to tell them. Because as you can see, we gave them freedom. They can't make up their mind. We gave them freedom. They caused chaos. We gave them freedom. They caused destruction. This was not how it was designed.
We don't care.
What's your thoughts on women bashing men, saying a real man's supposed to be paying all the
Man,
bills?
let me stop you right there. Can't no woman tell me what a man is if you ain't never been one. Your opinion is irrelevant. How you gonna tell me what something is that you ain't never been? A woman could tell me what she would like for a man to be like. She could tell me what she would like for her man to be like. But she can't never tell a man what a man is if you ain't never been a man. It's like somebody white speaking on being black. You can say what you think, but you can't never speak on it because you ain't never been that.
But y'all are so quick to tell a man also what he can't tell a woman to do, how she should dress, all this. Y'all delusional. That's why I said, men, don't listen to your wife. That was the sin. That was the sin of Adam, listening to his wife. You don't understand. Literally, this woman came from him and betrayed him, bro. So how do we expect these women coming from broken households to not betray us, except for to be in submission? And I'm not talking about no abuse, because this is my whole point. These people talk about they can't get love, care, and affection. No, you can't get love, care, and affection in your own free will, because y'all are evil. Y'all will literally take love and affection and turn that into some type of crime, right? So whenever you want to get delusional, you always just get back in line. And that's when correction happens. But y'all don't get that.
And I want you to go 50-50 and have you split the bills. Run. Fucking run. The reason why men are doing this thing now where they're pretty much trying to say, oh, you're going to need to go 50-50, we're going to need to have to split the bill. They're envious and jealous of the fact that women have rights. And you can tell by this rhetoric that they always like to essentially whip out, especially in the red pill community, when they're saying, well, you wanted equality. You wanted equality, so since you wanted equality so bad, you're going to have to pay half the day. Any man that wants you to split the bill, I am 100% positive with 100% certainty, he is a red pillar, okay? He is a part of the manosphere community.
So what that stupid broad just said was she's not willing to put in 50-50 on a date. Why the hell do you think she put in 50-50 on a marriage, right? So that'd be exactly my point. I said, like, don't get me wrong. I'm going to go back to the women, but y'all men, y'all pick some stupid broads, bro. Like, stupid broads, man. Like, I wouldn't have even, like, y'all be uphill battling for these stupid women, right? I don't even do that. If you don't have use or value, you're not getting past, like, me giving and care about you. Like, I a lot of times, I don't even get into bed if the woman is, like, not even about business. I can't even be around no broke, stupid, useless, just all around, everywhere type female. I can't do that. So it just blows my mind how these females even get to these points where they can be delusional like that. Now, keep in mind, all females have some level of delusion, and they like to switch it around. They like to sometimes do it every leap year. Sometimes they do it every other week, you know, just however they want to do it. And so her coming out of her mouth and saying that someone trying to do a simple test and see if you are worth it, talking about some 50-50. I think she was talking about the date first. So this is pretty crazy, right? So $100 bill. I mean, $100 date, right? Oh, I can't do $50, but you want me to do your nails, all this other stuff. So what you just showed me is you're not willing to give nothing. That's exactly why these marriages are like that with sex. Because I'm going to give you an example. Like I said, I'm going to put it out there because I don't care. Because, you know, women love to bash men. Women love to put our business out there. But I want men to start putting women's business out here so we can all collectively understand that we need to stop caring about their emotions and their feelings in general, because these women are evil, right? So I just went on this rant. You know, I made all these videos and stuff. I'm probably going to post them about how I'm in a sexless relationship pretty much, because my thing is, as a healthy man that's been taking care of business, and if you hear my story, you can see all the crazy stuff. You know, you go from saving some woman's kids, right, to her just betraying you, right? And I thought if you was to ever, right, I thought if someone saved my kids, I would be thankful for them for life. Like, you'd have to do a lot for me to betray you, right? But I was betrayed by a woman that's not my wife or whatever. And like I said, the story is crazy how that happens. But my whole point is, when you take all of the history and then you get to the point where you just tried to build and mold this woman, you did all this stuff that everybody fucking lies about. I'm sorry about cussing. All these women lie about, if I had a man to do this, I pour in my other, and then she still doesn't give submission. I'm telling you now, right? I'm telling you through my experience, I have saved a woman, right? Not saying she's a bad woman, but like I said, my whole point is, y'all women try to get escaped out of everything because y'all never want to do your full job, but you want to be called a complete woman. You want to sit here and tell a man that he's not being a man, or he can't do this because he's not man enough. He does all of that he needs to do, but you can't even do the simple stuff, right? So you can't get him off, but you was a hoe before, right? So this is why I said I'm gonna go right back to that, right? So I went and did all this stuff trying to shape and mold this woman to the point that I got to, like, I'm like, okay, as a sensible man that doesn't even share his business, now I'm gonna put all my business out there. And you wonder how that happens, right? Well, when your woman comes to you, it was like 2 months ago, right? And told me I had a problem because I told her I needed more sex. And I told her I needed more sex because I have these needs, right? I physically am active. I work out. I eat healthy. I work out. I work hard. I take care of my children. I've been taking care of her children. I've been taking care of her children every fucking time, man. Every single day I get in somewhere when it's like, oh, maybe there was traffic or something, right? Now keep in mind, I believe my Bible, so starting 2025, right? I do not submit to a woman in no shape, form, or fashion, right? So I come into the house, right? You shouldn't even be fucking questioning me anyways, because, you know, I'm paying all the bills and I'm taking care of everything, right? And then you want to sit there and say, like, you want to try to act like I might have been dealing with a female. Now, keep in mind, you're not giving me sex. Keep in mind, I come to you and tell you I need more sex, and then you tell me I have a problem. And now you want me to be a sensible man. Like, you know, I've been flipping out for days. I've been flipping out for days. It happened months ago, but now that, like, it's just ongoing, where I'm like, and yet another time, like, every time I'm like, yo, every time another day is done, everything is taken care of, and I'm like, damn, I need to go make all this money. And I'm sitting here thinking about how I didn't have literal physical intimacy with my wife, right? With my wife. I have not had physical intimacy with my wife for days. Not only days, right? So supposedly she's going through some health situation, and she's trying to take care of the baby, and now she's not in my bed. I've been making myself food. I've been making all the money to buy all the groceries to make myself food. I haven't even been having time to make myself food because she wanted to pick up a job that we didn't need. And her excuse is she's tired, all this other stuff. This is now, right? But y'all women always love to do this. When a man has had it, a man has had enough, because no, you've been messing up since day one. You not only betrayed me, you gave out what I need, gave out what I requested. You made fun of me. Then you demonized me, and then you demonize me for that exact purpose every time it looks like I might have needed it and got it somewhere else. That's how wicked you women are. You know, that's the definition of hell. Just imagine you sitting here trying to climb out of something. You have a need, you have a want, you have a desire. That's supposedly what y'all that self-worship yourself, that want this damn ring, that's what y'all are here for, right? Self-gratification, self-love. Oh, I should live my life. I should be happy. Isn't that the crap y'all say, right? But as a man, right, I give you what you supposedly want. You get married, right? I save your children from your mistakes, right? I'm taking care of my children. I'm not putting my hands on you. I'm not cursing you out. I carry myself like a man. I don't get arrested. But men that literally don't do none of that stuff, I literally see them daily, right? Getting treated like kings, right? Those be some of the same ones attached to women that saying, oh, I have a checklist from my husband. I do all these things. These be the same ones that be making TikTok videos and stuff. They at least got the basics done. Like, everything else is wrecked in life. But that's my whole point. None of y'all women are balanced. That's why one of y'all can't do a job. You got your freaks that actually want to take care of their husband so that they're not out there supposedly cheating. But they ain't good about anything else, taking care of the kids, nothing like that. Then you got your ones that take care of the kids, but then they think as a husband, you take care of everything, and you're just supposed to appreciate one aspect of being a woman. And you talking about you gonna be the only woman. Okay.
So since you wanted equality so bad, you're going to have to pay half the day. Any man that wants you to split the bill, I am 100% positive with 100% certainty, he is a red pillar, okay? He is a part of the manosphere community.
Drizzle. Are realistic. Realistically speaking, most of y'all are not going to be able to get what it is that y'all are asking for. The numbers just speak for themselves. Men.
But not only that, as I said, I can honestly say, if you go up to a man, right? If you're a sensible woman, you maybe have one piece of the puzzle and you're willing to share. You literally go up to a man, I promise you, and you say, hey, I will sit down and shut the hell up. All I need from you is leadership guidance. I'll be submissive. All I require is these needs. I guarantee you he's going to say, granted. There you go. Then he's going to go get another woman. If she could say the same thing, I'll submit. I'll shut the hell up. I won't bicker. I won't fight. I won't pick fights with the women because, you know, y'all be picking fights. It never be the man talking about some, oh, this is what she did, and then going back and forth, and then y'all talking about some, oh, this is why you can't have multiple wives. No, this is why you can't have multiple wives without a freaking muzzle on them. Shut up. This is why you can't have a kennel of dogs without muzzles or control or discipline, because they won't shut up. This is why you can't have dogs in a dog park that don't know how to act, because they're going to fight, because they don't know how to shut up, right? And so you guys keep wondering why men in the Bible refer to unruly women like dogs. Is because it's the same nature. Without discipline, there's no control. It will bite the owner, bite the hand that feeds it, right? You're in the house, it says it's better to be with dragons and stuff than to be with one of y'all. That's pretty crazy. Y'all ain't even as dangerous as a dragon, but y'all can literally have somebody in hell. And that's why I keep saying that y'all are demons. A lot of y'all. Not all of y'all, a lot of y'all. I'm trying to look for the one. Hey, shout out to the ladies that ain't demons. Shout out to the ladies that care about their husbands. Shout out to the ladies that love men. Shout out to the ladies that are looking for real men, because I know there's not a lot of them out there. But shout out to the ladies that actually understand that. Because guess what? There are some real men out there that are looking for some real ladies. We know they exist, but most ladies are trash as well. So let's find each other. Let's find each other. Let's be sensible and let's build something. And let's build something together as sister wives in a polygynous relationship. Or even friendship. You know, I'm looking for friendships. I'm looking for all of that. Everything you're talking about in scripture, going back to the old ways, that's what I'm trying to do.
I have repeatedly said these numbers to women, and it's like it just doesn't register. Y'all would just rather live in La La Land. So, I mean, I'm like, you just want us to enable your delusion and feed you lies, or you want the truth? I'm like, that's all the RP and manosphere is. That's all it is.
And that's the issue I have with the manosphere sometimes. And I'm not going to disagree. I'm going to add this. I'm going to say this, brothers. Can we recalculate what's going on? We keep saying they're delusional. We keep saying that they're just lack knowledge. We keep saying they lack discipline, which they do. But let me reinvent the question. Are women are just evil? There've been a lot of women coming out that women are just evil. But this is my thing. I'm tired of people. We can't keep sugarcoating this, and we can't keep putting glass slippers on them, right? Because every single time the hill shatters. These females fall every single time you try to brace them for some type of tumble, right? Because this is all false. They're not delusional. If you listen to my story, everything seems calculated. And like I said, regardless of if you want to say, oh, well, that's the demon inside of me, guess what? It's piloting your system. You are the demon. You are team demon. And that's what women are. Every single time I sit there and try to reason with it just being delusional and stuff, I'm wondering how it's calculated evil. Because, for instance, I'm gonna give you an example through my story. Like I said, I'm gonna put this out here. I don't care, because y'all don't care. Y'all will do this to you. So this woman had me looking in the face of this dude okay. So we was at a hotel, because after I saved her from her baby daddy abusing her kids. Now, keep in mind, we did meet years and years before this. We were friends and all this other stuff. So we were finally friends. She goes over this information. You know, I'm still attracted to her, but we're just friends. And, you know, I knew these kids. And so, you know, we did mess around and stuff like that. But at this point in time, we had a contract saying, okay, so since you're bisexual, I'm straight, we're only going to deal with women. And so she takes it upon herself to get jealous. Now, keep in mind, this is during the process. Nothing was said. It was just like, if I say anything about a woman, she gets a pissy attitude and does female stuff. But, you know, whenever she wants to go see a female, which she probably is going to see a dude too. And I have proof that she's also done stuff like that anyways. But she will go and at this point go to them and I won't say nothing. I'll drop you off, not say nothing, you know, not do anything. So I obviously see it's uneven because you have no maturity and you don't have any emotional intelligence, thinking about how even if you feel some type of way, how do you feel if somebody else is letting you do it, but now you're just making an issue on their side. And then so she said eventually she got jealous because I was not telling her every bit of my business, which I shouldn't as a man. And so this is when she decides to not only deal with other men, but then she also calculated to deal with other men, because she went back to some people in her past that used to abuse her, and she told me about. She went right back and let them abuse her. And then she, the guy that was over the hotel, she was smashing him every time I was working overnight. Now, keep in mind, I could have stayed with my parents that were in the same city. I could have stayed with my parents, but we stayed together because I was like trying to help her and help her get on her feet and everything like that. Because, you know, that was my friend first. And so she decides to smash the dude that was a manager, one of the managers over the hotel. And so to this day, every time I pass that area, I always think about that. My brother has the same name as him. So I always remember that. And I just think about all that time when she always talks about trust, even to this day, and how he asked me, do you trust her? He was looking me in my eyes when she was trying to make me friends with him after she was doing all this crap, right? By the way. And then I just said yes, because at that time, like I said, we had our contract. Why should I believe anything else? Yeah, she's a dancer, but hey, I was dating a dancer. So my rules were this: hey, as long as you're not doing any sexual activities with a man, you can make your money and you can still indulge in the activities that you do with women. And I'm a man. I'm straight. I'm not going to be dealing with men. So we have a common interest, separate and together. So she decides, because she was jealous, because I guess whatever comparison she was doing to being a man or whatever, like I said, now you're competing with me and I'm trying to help you. I could have been in my mom's house sleeping, but I'm in the hotel room taking care of you and your kids. We didn't have kids at this time. And then you decide to sleep with other men because of that, right? Then you tell me to be this guy's friend, and I'm in his car looking at him in his face. He's looking at me in my eyes, and he's trying to give me the bro code without giving me the bro code, because he knows it's so fucking grimy what this chick did. And so I don't even hold it against him. I hold it against him because he should have seen the situation. He should have left it alone. But he'll get judged for that. She's still getting judged for that, because I'll never forget that, because she always brings up trust and all this stuff. But while we was married, she's sitting there talking about all this crap. And I'm talking all these details because y'all females act like we're so fucking stupid and we don't pick up on this stuff. She talking about one time I called her baby girl, and she talking about oh, I like when you call me that. Next thing I know, I'm hearing her ex, dude that been in her guts, right? That ain't taking care of her kids, ain't helping her take care of her kids, calling her baby girl while we're married. And every time he calls her on the phone, calling her by a pet name. She never once corrected him. She never once apologized. It's years and years later. And like I said, I'm a very detail-oriented person, because, women love to point out all your flaws. They love to tell you, oh, this is what you did this time. You did this when we were this. We did this when we did this. But when it's time for y'all to apologize and actually get true forgiveness, y'all don't want that. That's why I'm beyond forgiveness. I don't care. I command at this point what my Bible says, because I don't want a wicked woman. I want a submissive woman, and without submission, you all are wicked, because the scripture even states that. This woman literally denies me from sex to this day for all these damn weird reasons, right? But I just told you that little piece of history. So this is my thing. Y'all always try to judge a man on whatever it is just for being a man, and y'all don't know not even a part of the story. And the story is insane. You don't have no idea what it is to be a man and to tangle with morality, sensibility, self-worth, self-value, pride, community, friendship, trust, loyalty, love, future. And so, as a man, there's many things that we must sacrifice for whatever the common goal is. If that's future, if that's legacy, there's sometimes we have to sacrifice lots of things. But many men cannot build a future and legacy because they will not sacrifice their pride. And so I'm coming to you today to put some complexity in some of these situations? How can you turn your back on kids in need and that you personally know? How can you turn your back on a friend? How can after betrayal you not try to move on? How after progress there's still stagnation in some areas? How is that a yes or a no? How is that a simple solution? How is that a right or wrong? How is that a fully corrupt or partially corrupt? Corruption is corruption. And this is why one wife will never be enough. Because when it comes to legacy and building something, you have to put your pride aside, regardless of if you're a man or a woman. Because the whole thing is to put together a plan, a purpose, and drive together as a family to build something. It's about putting self-identity away. You are so quick to put self-identity away to assimilate into this culture and this economy and this country that hates you and your people and your children. But you refuse to assimilate where you're supposed to assimilate. The scriptures that you say that you follow, you do not follow. You choose to continue to rebel since Lilith, since Eve, since so many prophets' wives, so many husbands now. You refuse correction, you refuse to submit. We've let you have your way. Everything shows a mirror. Society is a mirror of the woman. You gave birth to this. But now this child is running wild. This child needs a man to raise it. That's where we come in. No longer will we let feminist mindsets dictate the man's actions. This is scripture, and this is also sensible. I tell all of you men, do not listen to your wives. They submit to evil men. They submit to their bosses. They submit to their friends. They submit to every ideal but yours. They will go around your authority. My wife literally, when I told her I would rather co-parent and live my life how I believe my scripture says than to deal with her and her fighting and her bickering and her lack of submission. And so her thought process was to go to another man to tell me as a man how I should live my life. How should I feel as a man? You as women out there being a third party, me as a man, how should I feel like my wife represents me? How should I feel like my wife views me? How should I feel like as a husband? Should I feel like a proud husband? Should I feel like I have authority? Should I feel like I've earned any type of respect? Should I feel like I am of value? And this, let me ask you this. Let's say my facts are true. Let's say that my story is real. I saved this woman's children. Do you really think that you would have decided to sleep with as many men as you could possible on a contract where all you had to do was not give your sex to a man that doesn't deserve it, but a man that deserves it? You literally had a pre-marriage contract that you break, and then you get into a marriage, and the only thing you're concerned about is making sure that you are the only one that benefits from the marriage. But I'm supposed to say you women are delusional. I'm supposed to say you women are not wicked. I'm supposed to not believe the scripture where it says y'all women are so wicked that there's like that. Show me any scripture where they show a virtuous woman, and the virtuous woman is not any of you. Those virtuous women never balked their husband from finding other virtuous women. Their women never hassled them. Their women never told the man, hey, I expect money and I don't want to do nothing. Their virtuous women never had their hand out and never given a freaking helping hand. Their women never stopped their man from building what they wanted. Their women never told them what to do. Their women never told them what to think. Their women never told them how to think. Their women never thought that they, as women, were superior to men. Their women never thought that they knew better than men. Their women knew men knew how to be men, and men knew how to do men things. Women understood if they picked a man they're supposed to submit to him, because that makes no sense to not work with the man that you said you'd help. But that's why I said a lot of you are demons, because you are helping. You're helping your man Esau destroy your man, the black man. I think there was some hidden gems in some of these sayings or phrases. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. I was just sitting there and thinking about something real quick. I think most of these women can never really truly be wives, because a wife would have to be selfless in nature, and none of these women are selfless in nature. Like, they will literally get you and her arrested in front of your kids just because the husband tells her to shut the hell up because she's making a scene and you're both black. And she will still voice her opinion because she doesn't care, because she wants to get her point across. You know, it could be at the detriment of you and your kids. That's your modern woman, right? So this is why the you can't turn a hoe into a housewife thing works, because I was sitting there thinking, I was like, you know why I'm not getting anything in return? Because they're so used to giving something to someone that really doesn't ask it. They just command it. They don't care. And they just give them something in return. And this is why in marriages, they're just house prostitutes. Because at this point, she can decide when she wants to do something. Whatever value she adds to it is, oh, okay, well, I guess I can give him some now. You know, maybe did the dishes or something. You know, she's like, oh, you're such a good boy. And then she runs around and does all of these emotional games to secure her position. And this is why there is no such thing as a modern wife, no modern monogamy, because all of these women are for themselves. You can't be a wife unless you're selfless. None of you submit, none of you are selfless. You don't deserve that title. And then to make it even worse, we need to just go back to the qualifications and literally be like, okay, so if you're not a virgin, you're not going to be my wife. Because all of these women literally disqualify us as men because of our height, because of our weight, because of how we talk, because of our background. They will say you're too this, too that. So how about this? You don't have an opinion if you don't know how to choose a man correctly the first time. You cannot be a solo wife if you gave yourself to somebody. So shut the fuck up and get in line. You're not a virgin. So you have no, what's the word? You don't have a sense of direction at this point, and that's why you're supposed to be submissive. And a lot of you women don't get that. That's why you will never be a true wife.